All right, hey guys, so there's going to be some pretty major changes coming to Steam in the near future, so I thought I'd try to explain it the best I can. Today, Steam released a news article about their Steam Direct submission fees. If you're not familiar with Steam Direct, basically they're planning on removing Steam Greenlight and replacing it with a new system called Steam Direct. If you're not familiar with Steam Greenlight, basically the way it worked is you had to pay a one-time fee of $100, and then you can release as many games as you want onto the Greenlight page. And once they received enough votes, they would eventually come onto the Steam store and you can sell your game for a profit. Unfortunately, developers have been abusing this system. They've been releasing a lot of low quality, low content games and then adding trading cards to their games, selling the games for about 50 cents on the Steam store, and then expecting users to farm the trading cards and then sell the trading cards on the marketplace. And every transaction, the developers would receive a cut, about 15% or at least 1 penny per trading card. And these developers would also sell their games through various bundle sites, and they would give their games away for free, expecting users to farm the cards and earn money off the trading cards themselves and not the quality of the game, which caused major problems because now the Steam store is filled with a lot of low quality indie games that really don't deserve to be there. They have very low content, and a lot of them are broken or just not working or filled with glitches or just abandoned completely. So Steam's solution to this is Steam Direct, and it's basically just a new system where instead of paying a one-time fee of $100, you're now going to have to pay $100 per game that you release on Steam if you're a developer. And you can see that somewhere here, right here, a $100 recoupable publishing fee per game. They were planning on making it $500, but they decided to go with $100 just because as like a new game developer, someone like me, $500 is a lot of money, especially if you live in a third world country. It's not easy to come by that amount of money, especially if you don't know if your game is going to do well or not. So they decided to go with $100. So that's the big change. Pretty simple change, but it's a notable change to say the least. They're hoping that with this new system, it'll remove a lot of the low budget, low content games, and there'll be more like higher quality games on the Steam store so people don't complain so much about seeing all the crap all over the place. But yeah, it's just a little different. Basically $100 per game instead of what it was before, which was $100, and then you can release as many games as you want. With Steam Direct, I don't think there's going to be any voting system. So once you pay that $100 fee, you can instantly get on the Steam store, which is kind of interesting. I wonder how that's going to work in the future. So some other changes. This was a couple of weeks ago, and this is already in effect, but new games on the Steam store will no longer have trading cards until they sell a certain amount of copies through the Steam store, and when they receive a certain amount of playtime from actual users, not card farmers. So that's a big change as well. So now, even if you do release a low budget game onto the Steam store, if no one buys the game, you're not going to be earning any profit from trading cards because you won't be able to have trading cards until you earn a certain amount of sales and a certain amount of playtime from actual users. No one really knows the threshold that you need to meet in order to be eligible for trading cards. But yeah, new games don't have trading cards, which is kind of interesting. So back to this news article, there's a couple more updates. Basically, they plan on improving the Steam curation program or the Steam Curators. I personally do not like Steam Curators just because, I don't know, it seems like it benefits the big like news article places like Total Biscuit, IGN, Otaku or Kotaku, the big places that do game reviews. It kind of caters to them and not independent users like myself. So I'm not a big fan of Steam Curators, but they do plan on adding a bunch of features, like you can now add videos onto your Steam reviews or on your curator reviews. I really don't like the word curator at all, but they also plan on adding lists, so you can make a list of like all your favorite shooters, and then you can share your list with other people. And if someone's looking for like a list of good first-person shooters, they can see your list and then they can see your recommendations, which is kind of cool. And then one last thing, they're trying to make it easier for developers or publishers to give, what would you call them? It says it somewhere here. Pre-release access to upcoming games to these Steam Curators. So someone like myself who does a lot of videos on indie games and so forth, they want me to be able to get a Steam key directly through Steam instead of having to go to outside sources to ask for Steam keys, which is kind of cool. Definitely interested to see what that's about. I hope it's not just Steam Curators, because the curation program at the moment is pretty terrible. You have to make a Steam group, and then through the Steam group is where you add your curation, which is basically like a summarized review of each game you recommend, and it just doesn't work properly in my opinion. I wish they would just scrap the system and replace it with something else, but that's just my opinion, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, at the end it just says in the next post they're going to be talking about getting rid of Greenlight and when Steam Direct is planning to make an unveiling. It should be in the next month or two. But yeah, I thought I'd just give you guys some updates, and hopefully that all made sense to you guys. I know that was a lot of information just crammed into a very short video. But to summarize, Steam Greenlight is going away. It's getting removed, replaced with Steam Direct, and now developers will have to pay $100 per game they release on Steam. And it's supposedly recoupable. Not really sure what recoupable means. I mean, it means that they should be able to get the $100 back, but no one really knows how quite yet. So that'll be interesting in the future news posts and so forth. But yeah, just some quality changes, I suppose. In the future, I hope to see less low-quality games and more quality content games. Honestly, the way it's been over the past few years, a lot of people have been buying games through bundles and through other sources just to get the trading cards, and no one really plays a lot of these low-budget games. So it'd be good to see them go away, especially for normal users who don't really care too much about trading cards. So that's about it. So thanks for watching, and have a nice day.